Hello and welcome back. Today's video is going to be about rituals and routines. And what I want to just first stress is even though a ritual and a routine kind of by definition means that you should be doing the same kind of thing day after day after day in order to make it a ritual or a routine. Otherwise, it's not really a ritual or routine. I tweak mine personally from one day to the next simply because my day schedule, my real world schedule isn't always the same, and I can't really depend on things to happen in the same order, and because just the way my life is. So I have released the need to have a ritual routine look the same from day to day to day. And instead, what I have created is basically a set of, like a menu, let's call it that, a menu of different options that I can mix and match and pick from depending on how much time I actually have to devote to the ritual, what my mood might be like, because I may need, if I'm in kind of a crummy mood, I may want to focus more on doing some release type of practices as opposed to focusing more on how am I going to boost my creativity. So I just wanted to put that out there as food for thought for your own use. If you have yet to create a routine or a ritual for yourself because you thought, well, it has to be at the same time every single day, and it has to be for 30 minutes long every time, and it's just really too constricting, maybe that is why you haven't been able to really set up positive habits for yourself, because you're be looking at it in a way that is constricting you. So I'm just going to tell you basically my menu of different things that I like to do from one day to the next, or evening, in the evenings, in the mornings, and in the afternoons, and go from there. Okay. So basically I am a very early morning riser. I like to get up around 4. So anywhere between 4 and 5, I am up and out the door taking my dog for a walk. It does depend on the time I go to bed at night. I like to try to get in 7 hours of sleep if I possibly can. Any less than that, I don't function as well throughout the day. 7 is a pretty good number of sleep, and I sleep really well. So I don't have a problem with insomnia or restlessness. So if I knowing that, I know that if I go to bed at a certain hour, I just count 7 hours and I'm good to go. So between 4 and 5 is when I wake up and I take my dog for a walk, and it's usually still pretty dark out, which I love. I live in a safe neighborhood and I'm the only one out there, and it's really peaceful. I absolutely love it. May not be everybody's cup of tea, but this is a great way for me to get going because it is quiet, and I also do my my gratitude journaling in my head while I'm walking. It's usually about a 10-15 minute walk that I do, and in that time I can think about all the things that I'm grateful for, and this just really helps me get off to a wonderful start for my day. I do not look at my phone when I wake up. In fact, I have my phone in a different room so that between the time I wake up and the time I go out the door with my dog, I am not touching my phone. I don't look at it. I always make sure the night before that I flip it over screen side down, because when the notifications come on, the screen lights up and it's like, oh, what's come through my phone? I put it in a place where I can't even be tempted. This has been a huge game changer for me in terms of raising my vibration in the morning and getting into a positive state of mind to start off my day. after my walk, I will come home and I have 2 cats as well. So at that time, they're like ready to eat because they've seen me out. So they think, okay, now it's our turn. So I feed them, feed the dog, deal with animals. And in that time, I get my area ready for meditation. Is always something I do every day. I meditate. That's a non-negotiable for me, and I highly recommend, if you're going to do anything at all for your practice, your ritual routine, meditation needs to be in there. It's meditation and gratitude, 2 top things I recommend, because they will just get you feeling really great about stuff. So I'll do the meditation, and I'll also do tapping, which is EFT. I went over that in another video in this course. And then the tapping depends as far as what's going on for me. I may need to release something. There may be something that's kind of bugging me, and I really just need to deal with it. So I may tap on that. Or if there isn't anything kind of lingering from the day before, or maybe I'm something that I'm kind of agonizing over, and I just want to tap on just good feeling thoughts, like just boosting that energy, then I'll do that. But tapping is something else that I'll do in the morning. Another really great thing that I do throughout the day is not so much part of my specific routine in the morning, but I've made it a routine throughout my day during certain times of my day, is affirmations. Any time that I have a few minutes where I can just kind of take a break from whatever I'm working on, I will run through some affirmations. I have some that I've memorized, and I will just go through them. Because in the past, I have been somebody who, when there's been downtime, I get anxious and I start allowing the negative thoughts or the anxious thoughts, the self-criticism to kind of swoop in when I'm not looking. And suddenly they're there, and before I know it, I've spent 20 minutes being not very kind to myself. I have gotten myself out of that and have now gotten into the habit of being kind, speaking kindly to myself, and affirmations is the key to that. And the routine that I have in relation to that is basically, I've set up times throughout the day where I will stop everything I'm doing, take deep breaths, center myself, and just say some affirmations. So this is something, like I said, it's an all-day thing. As far as the other things that I do in the morning, the other things that I can pick and choose from, I love to pull cards. Oracle cards or affirmation cards are fun to do, to just kind of tap into your intuition and pull a card, and then use that card as kind of a foundation for your whole day. It's a little bit of a game. And I love games, so I make a game out of it, and it's fun to just kind of set the tone to your day based on the oracle cards or the affirmation cards that I pull. Tarot cards are something that I'll use also, but I have to be that has to be really intentional. Like, it can't be something that I just kind of do on the fly. So because tarot cards have their messages take more, you have to really translate the messages, I think. So, and I find that oracle cards and affirmation cards are just gentler and easier to kind of fold into your day. The other fun thing that I like to do in the morning, if I have time, is scripting and journaling, kind of back and forth a little bit. I'll do a gratitude journaling, a couple of pages of things that I'm grateful for. and thanking, the universe, or thanking God, or, whatever you refer to as your higher power is, that's who you should be like thanking. But, and maybe you don't have a higher power. Maybe that whatever your belief is what your belief is. And you definitely need to stick with that. What feels good to you is so important. So when you're feeling grateful, think about, well, who are you saying thank you to? Is it to, to yourself, to a family member, to a friend, to a boss? Think of somebody that you can extend your gratitude toward. And then scripting is fun, and I'll talk more about in other videos. I'll go into more detail about these individually, just to give you a little bit more of a detailed dive to see how you can implement each one into your day. But that's pretty much just a very broad brush stroke of what I can do, what you can do for a routine. And you want to pick and choose the things that feel like they're going to make a difference for you in that moment. And that's why having a big selection to choose from is helpful, because you may not feel like meditating. That may be one thing that you're just like, I don't really feel like sitting and just kind of, I want to do something a little bit more active. Or you may not feel like pulling cards. And so that's fine. It's better that you're in tune with yourself and what feels good to you. That's what's important. So you build your routine based on that. And some things to think about when you are building your routine or your ritual is attach your ritual to a habit that you already have in place. Like brushing your teeth is a pretty good one. Or when you get ready for bed, maybe you have a ritual for getting ready for bed. So if that's the case, maybe you can add a 15-minute mindfulness ritual to that. And so that when you're getting ready for bed, you can add that to it. And it's easier because you're attaching it to something you already do. As far as maybe attaching it to like kind of a pre-creativity ritual, that's something to consider, which is something I do. Before I sit down and do my writing, I set up my space. I make sure that I have everything I need, and I've got the candles going, and I've got the essential oils or the incense going, or I've got my lights on and the music's playing, and whatever it is I need, and I get all of that set up. And often I will do some affirmations before I sit down to write, and I'll get myself into a place where I'm feeling really confident and feeling, where my curiosity, okay, I'm ready to be curious, I'm ready to be creative, and, maybe send a prayer out, like, bring on the creativity, bring on the inspiration. And, I just have fun with it. And you can do it in any way, in any fashion that makes you feel comfortable and that makes you feel really empowered, because this is your time. It's mindfulness, which is also very, very much connected to self-care. And when you can create a mindfulness practice, you are taking care of your whole self, your creative self, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, everything. And it's empowering, and you will reap the benefits in a short period of time. And if you keep at it, those benefits will, get bigger and bigger and bigger and make a huge impact for you in a really great way. So let me know what you think about those ideas. And if you have other things that you like to do for your ritual or your routine, I'd love to hear about them. Just drop in a comment below and we'll talk about it. Okay. Have a great day. Take care.